Hello, Food Rescue Hero friends. Today we are talking about Agri-cycle. So if you don't know me already, my name is Hannah. I am a student intern over at the Mitchell Center for Sustainability Solutions. And I've been working with MAINE to deliver some of these materials to you, some of these videos to you that you might have already seen before. But this one is talking about Agri-cycle, who is a company that we're going to talk about a little bit more. And what they do is reduce food waste. So we're gonna get right into it. I'm going to share my screen. We'll go from there. Okay, so reducing waste with Agri-cycle. So what you're seeing here on this page is Agri-cycle's logo and then the University of Maine logo, because that's where the Mitchell Center is located. And then a photo of food waste. So I think everybody knows what food waste is, but if we don't, it's essentially all of that leftover food that's still on your plate at the end of your meal that we throw into the trash can. But food waste can also be all of the food in the refrigerator that goes bad because we just didn't get to eat it in time. And then all of that gets thrown away too. So all of that food should not go into the trash, because when it goes into the trash, it goes into the landfill. And the landfill isn't so great because it produces a lot of different gases and CO2 or carbon dioxide. And what that does is it contributes to the warming of our planet. And on top of that, this landfill can also create groundwater pollution, which means we can't drink the groundwater. So if you have maybe like a well at home, or you know someone who does, or animals that drink from the groundwater, all of that stuff can become contaminated from the landfill. So we don't want that. We don't want any food going into the landfill. It can break down just naturally without going into the landfill. So what is Agri-cycle, or who is Agri-cycle? We don't know. So I'm going to tell you. So Agri-cycle is a business who turns all of your food waste, all of your food scraps into energy. That's kind of cool, huh? Kind of crazy even. So what is Agri-cycle? Agri-cycle works with a network of processing partners who convert everything from scraps to expired packaged food into clean, green energy known as biogas. So this is a great thing because we're turning something that we can't use anymore, these food scraps, and we're turning them into something that we can use, which is this good energy, which is great because we know that fossil fuels kind of harm our planet and they're going to run out because they're a non-renewable resource. But this is a renewable resource, and it's kind of a lot better for the environment because it's less polluting. So that's what we mean by clean, green energy, and that we call biogas here. And I wanted to include this logo here because it's important to know that Agri-cycle also has a dairy farm next door, and that's why we have the Stonyvale farm. And what they do is they take all of the byproducts, all of the waste left over from making this energy, and they use it for animal bedding for the cows so they can stay warm in the winter. So they're really operating as a zero waste kind of business. And I have some drone footage here to show you that gives you a little bit better of an idea about the layout of the facility and kind of like what their day-to-day operation looks like. So I'm going to exit here. And these big circles here, these are the generators. So that's where the energy is made, is in these big domes here. There are those cows. All right. So that just showed a little bit more of what the facilities look like there. And we got to see some of the trucks. We got to see the big piles of food waste that they were getting rid of. It's kind of cool. And they also have a depackaging system. So I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that a lot of fruits and vegetables in the store or meats and things like that come in packaging, in that plastic packaging. And the really neat thing about Agri-cycle is that they have a depackager system. So they do accept food that is still in the package, that's still in cans, that's still in the plastic wrap, because they can remove it and just take out that food. And I do have a little video, a little YouTube clip of the depackager in action, just so you can see kind of what it does. So as you can see, all of this grinding essentially removes the plastic bags, the packaging away from the food. So they can still operate. Take that food anyways, which is a great thing because a lot of places don't do that. So they've got a pretty good thing going on. So how does this food turn into energy? Well, this happens through a process known as anaerobic digestion. And I know that's a lot. That's a mouthful, right? So all of the food sent to Agri-cycle is anaerobically digested, which means that there are little tiny microorganisms that are in there that operate without oxygen. That's what anaerobically means, without oxygen, to break down the food. So all of the food sent to Agri-cycle is anaerobically digested or composted, which we know is more of a natural process of breaking down the food and turning it into soil, also using microorganisms. But it's never sent to landfills or to incinerators. So it's never burned and it's never sent to the landfill because both of those things are pretty bad for the environment. So anaerobic digestion, like we talked about a little bit, is a process in which microorganisms break down organic material in the absence of oxygen. So this organic material is usually manure from the cows, or if you don't know what manure is, it's cow poop, and food waste. So the waste that we produce that we give to Agri-cycle. And like I said, those microorganisms in there, they're also found in the dirt, and that's how composting takes place. So if you know a little bit about decomposers and what they do in the garden, they do the same thing for Agri-cycle, which is pretty cool. And then all of the methane that they produce, those little microorganisms, all of the methane and the gases that are produced by them are captured, and then they're combusted to make electricity, heat, and fertilizer. And if you don't know what combusted is, it means it's kind of like it's burning a little bit. But it's made for electricity to power our homes, for heat to heat our homes, and fertilizer, which a lot of people use for their gardens to make them grow and, you know, be healthy. And so we can get some good food from our garden and start the process all over again. So biogas can be processed into renewable energy, which is a good thing because we don't have a ton of renewable energy sources today, and making them more popular is even more the better. And these can be turned into transportation fuel. So your car at home can be fueled off of renewable energy and the food that you didn't eat. Crazy, huh? And all of the byproducts too, which we touched on, all of the leftover scraps and waste of the process that is happening here are all used in animal bedding and soil amendment. So all of that plastic packaging that comes out of the depackager all gets turned into animal bedding to keep the cows warm in the winter. So you can locate a collection site near you. If you live in Winslow, which I do, there's 136 Halifax Street in Winslow, Maine, and that's the Winslow Public Library address. There are, I believe, 2 locations coming to Waterville, Maine soon by the end of June. So I will keep you guys posted on that, or you can check out the Mitchell Center website. And I will leave the link with either a teacher or principal or on your school website. I will leave it somewhere. And then you can also call Agri-cycle for more information and to locate other drop-off sites in your state. So if you don't live in Winslow or Waterville, but you do want to give to Agri-cycle, you can call them for more information to locate a drop-off site near you. And Agri-cycle also services schools. So be sure to ask your school what they do with your food waste, because I know Winslow uses Agri-cycle for their food waste. So all of the food that's left over from lunches and snacks and all of that stuff, all of that goes to Agri-cycle. So none of it's going in the landfill because we don't want it there. And Agri-cycle also services businesses that you may know of. So Oakhurst Dairy, if you're drinking Oakhurst milk at lunch, you know that all of that leftover stuff is going to Agri-cycle. Agri-cycle also services for Colby College, for Tyson, who makes all those chicken nuggets that we love, and Hannaford, which I know a lot of us Mainers shop at Hannaford, and all of their leftover food waste goes to Agri-cycle too. So what can you put in the collection site toters? Well, you can put fruits and vegetables trimmings, you can put eggshells, breads, grains, meat and fish scraps, dairy products, coffee grounds, anything that's organic that you maybe ate, didn't finish eating, it went bad. And what I mean by organic is that the label doesn't need to say organic, it just needs to be not processed. So all of this stuff can go in there. And this is a big list of stuff that you can and can't put in there. So yes to fruit and vegetable scraps, meat and fish scraps, dairy products, bread, pasta, rice, grains, eggshells, coffee grounds, jellies and sauces, fats, oils, greases. You can put packaged foods in there. So that's outdated food or damaged food. You can do solid, liquid, frozen. You can do yogurt. You can do items that are in cans, things like that. But what you can't put in there, you cannot put yard waste in there. You cannot put diapers, chemicals, cat litter, or pet waste. There's no personal hygiene products going in there, face tissues, medicines, rubber bands, gloves, glass, no metals, plastics, or cardboard that do not contain food products. So you can't go and put in your cardboard box that your new TV came in this week. You can't do that, but you can put in, like I said, those packaging items that are used for food. So that's the full list. And if you want more information, you can always contact me or contact EcoMaine for more information. And I'm glad that I got to share this a little bit more with you guys. Agri-cycle has a really great process going on to limit food waste. And I think that it's a really great thing that we can utilize here in the state of Maine. So I hope that you guys learned a lot from this, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. So have a great rest of your day, whatever time that you're watching this, and I will see you soon.